Okay, well, we got by the mana leak. Cool. That's great. Hello and welcome, guys. Today we are here with a very unique list brewed by yours truly. We are playing some Eldritch Evolution Primeval Titan, or Eldritch Amulet, as I like to call it. And obviously, what we're doing different today is Eldritch Evolution, a 3-mana sorcery that lets you sacrifice a creature, or makes you sacrifice a creature as part of the cost. And in return, you can search your library for a creature with a cost of up to 2 more than the cost of the creature you sacrifice, and put that directly into play. Sort of like a one-time or one-shot birthing pod activation if you have ever played with or against that card. But it can get something that costs 2 more than the thing you sacrifice rather than 1. But anyways, the whole idea behind this card is turn 1 Grazer, or turn 1 Tribe Scout. On turn 2, Eldritch Evolution away your Grazer into a Dryad, for example. Or, from the sideboard, you can Eldritch Evolution out Reclamation Sage, which is a typical one for the Amulet sideboard. Now we can find it both off of Summoner's Pact and off of Eldritch Evolution, which is quite interesting. We also have access to Eidolon of Rhetoric against the Storm and Tybalt's Trickery players of the world. This is the main reason for including Eldritch Evolution, is to have a way to just turn 2, Evolution, put a stop to your opponent playing Trickery nonsense. I don't want to lose to that matchup. And perhaps we're going too far, but I like to push things to the extreme. We also have one Aven Mind Sensor to play against opposing Primeval Titan strategies such as Green-White Reclaimer, or opposing Amulet players, anything along that vein. An Obstinate Baloth. Of course, we can sacrifice one of our 3-drops to find a Baloth. Mainly this is going to be for Summoner's Pact, but it is possible to get it off of the Eldritch Evolution as well. And finally, Chameleon Colossus. This is going to be a slam dunk against our opponents on Shadow. It's very good at blocking and attacking through our opponent's relevant creatures. You can pump it up and just kill your opponent with it using its 4-mana activated ability. And it might be somewhat costly to find a Chameleon Colossus with Eldritch Evolution, and perhaps we'll be siding out Eldritch Evolution against these black-red shadow decks that can keep our board clear anyways. But we do have access to Colossus as a one-of here, and of course, with the Obstinate Baloth and the Reclamation Sage, we can still use Summoner's Pact to find some of these bullets. So, of course, we can search for a Dryad, which will help us set up for our main board plan. Eldritch Evolution serving as copies of Dryad 5 through 8, I suppose you could say. But we do also have one Fierce Empath that we can search for if we sacrifice a Grazer or Tribe Scout to try to find a Primeval Titan. We do have one copy of Azusa here, as we still are playing Summoner's Pact and a bunch of Bounce Lands and Amulets. But we also are playing one copy of Golos Tireless Pilgrim. If we need to, for any reason, sacrifice a 3-drop, we can go and search for a Golos, and that is something that might come up every once in a while. And I just like the card Golos, and we're playing Golos, so we'll see how it goes. There is one thing that I want to mention, which is Soccer Tribe Scout is not a card that I'm personally super much a fan of. I find it too often gets killed on turn 1 by Lightning Bolts and Fatal Pushes and Lava Darts and Ren Minuses and all kinds of things, so I'm not a big fan of Tribe Scout. I did briefly test the following card, Elvish Pioneer, a 1-mana 1/1 elf druid that lets you put a basic land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped when it enters the battlefield. Sort of a pseudo Grazer here, but of course the issue being it can only put basic lands into play. I tested a list that was playing a large amount of basic lands, somewhere around 10 basic lands, which is unheard of for Amulet, and I couldn't get the list to work out. I didn't like that we would have to trim down on bounce lands and other utility lands, and ultimately I ended up back on Sakura Tribe Scout. But if any of you can get a Elvish Pioneer version of this strategy to work out, then let me know in the comments. If you're here just to watch and have fun and maybe even learn a little bit, then I am totally fine with that, and I'm not expecting anybody to take this deck list and use it. Yeah, that's basically the whole gist of it. Everything else is pretty standard for a Primeval Titan deck, and let's just jump straight into the leagues and see how it goes. Alright, let's hop in this match. I'm not going to say I hope to get paired against Tybalt's Trickery. It would be hilarious if we got paired against them and turn to Evolution them out of the game, but I'm not sure exactly how likely that is in the first place, so still want to dodge that matchup, but we do have a plan for it. Well, maybe we did dodge a Tybalt's Trickery opponent as the matchmaking failed, so let's just jump straight into this match. on the play. Love it. Against Dito Guidoti 1. This is one of the leaderboard guys, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to try to go look it up, but you can confirm or deny that for yourself. And, I mean, this is a hand. It's got Titan mana for sure. It's got several ways to ramp here. If we top deck a Eldritch Evolution, we can make use of it with our Grazer, or even our Tribe Scout if we had to. If we top deck a Titan, then we're still good here. I'm inclined to keep it, but we'll see. I'm going to lead steadfastly here on the Tribe Scout, hoping that our opponent doesn't have the turn 1 removal spell. If they do, that's great for them, but otherwise the upside of having Scout in play already is too high, and they do fetch out a Ralgren Triome. Alrighty. Let's get this Tribe Scout into play. Let's play the Turf for turn. Pick up the Forest. We'll Tribe Scout in the Forest and get this Arboreal Grazer into play also. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. And we'll put the Valka into play and pass it back. We can actually even attack for 2. Value. Eldritch Evolution looks mighty awkward against a Remand deck, I will say. We'll play this Amulet, playing around Mana Leak, thankfully. Of course, we don't have any payoff here, so I'm not necessarily inclined to attack. I think we can attack with one Scout, so we can get our Gruul Turf into play, but I don't think it's a super meaningful clock, and I mean, we want to keep one bounce land in hand for this Amulet combo thing, but I think we can afford to put one into play. That would make sense to me. I hope they don't have a Rin here. Growth Spiral. Okay. Oh, they're playing Yorion. How did I not notice that? Interesting. I don't know what that means. I would usually have just put my opponent on some kind of Uro Omnath deck, but I mean, they probably still are playing Yorion with those cards, but Ren and 6. Okay, well, this is one of the reasons I don't love Tribe Scout, but oh, and they don't even go for the Tribe Scout. Okay, it makes sense, actually. Let's go ahead and get a Gruul Turf into play. Alright, we need a Titan off the top. I'd also accept a Golos. Another land, not fantastic. Yeah, I think we just clock the Rin with both of these Tribe Scouts here. Obviously not attacking with a Grazer. What do you take me for? And we'll pass it back. Now, if they do choose to ping one of our Tribe Scouts, we still have a lethal attacker on the Rin. Of course, that is assuming our opponent doesn't play an Omnath, which they might. But they seemingly choose not to, if they do have it. Third Tribe Scout, huh? Okay, well, let's go to combat. And try to take care of this Rin. We'll see what happens. I have to imagine this Tribe Scout is not long for this world. Ooh, it worked? Okay, well, we'll play another. And, I don't think we're supposed to expose a bounce land here. I think we can play around field. If they field our bounce land, we can just pick up another bounce land and continue to make bounce land drops with our Tribe Scouts. I don't know, though. I'm inclined not to play it out here. I could see a world where our opponent field ruins our bounce land with a trigger on the stack, and then we have to play another bounce land. They go after our Valka. No reason to put the mana here. A little sad that we can't put in a bounce land at instant speed to protect it, but probably more important to get the Ren out of play. Growth Spiral, okay. There's some possibility our opponent is playing Ice Fang Quaddle, but I doubt it. They are playing regular basics as well. 5 mana Teferi, okay. At least we can clock Teferi with these Tribe Scouts. That's kind of nice. Things are quickly going downhill, far out of hand. Our opponent's holding up Cryptic here as well. And they have Field of the Dead going. And we just keep drawing lands. Alright, I'm pretty inclined to just go ahead and scoop this one up. I'm sure our opponent has a million counterspells, so if we did draw a Titan, Eldritch Evolution, whatever, it wasn't going to resolve. Take our loss and move on. Relic of Progenitus seems good against our opponent's Uros and potential Mystic Sanctuary shenanigans. Reclamation Sage and Baloth, not sure. Chameleon Colossus could serve as a good threat, other than Primeval Titan, and it also is something that we can Cavern on Giant for, considering it is a changeling with every creature type, so that's kind of neat. Don't really care for Eidolon. I think it probably helps our opponent more than it helps us. Maybe we want Baloth, maybe we don't. It's kind of a waste to have a Baloth in hand, but I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. I think you can board out some Eldritch Evolutions and all of the Grazers for sure. Maybe we keep 3 Eldritch Evolutions. I would prefer not to have Evolution in this matchup at all, to be honest, but Grazer's just far worse. Maybe we could bring in the Mind Sensor. That seems kind of crazy. Our opponent does have a lot of fetch lands, but you know what? I'm going to try to cheese him. I think it's better than one of these Eldritch Evolutions. Dismember could be good if they have Omnath exactly, but otherwise it's pretty dead. Doesn't even kill Uro. Explosives could clean up a Renin 6 or for example, some zombie tokens. Don't really love it. I guess it also does clean up Ashiok or other, like, 3-mana planeswalkers. I don't know, though. I don't love it. You know what? I'm going to do without the explosives. I just don't think it's necessary. Alright, let's just run it this way. See what happens. Embarrassing to be playing 4 Tribe Scouts against Renin 6, though. We'll play first. No big deal. All lands and Golos. Nah, we need something a little faster than that. Well, this is better. This is way better. We have a 1-drop, we have a turn 3 play, and we have Cavern, so absolutely keeping this. Probably putting back the Garen Brig. We could put back a bounce land, but that is weak to Field of Ruin. I think it might be better to put back the bounce land here, as any untapped source, any green source for that matter, allows us to activate Garen Brig. And, yeah. Better to have Garen Brig in case our opponent is on some kind of plan like Cleansing Wildfire. It is possible. Our opponent has mulligan to 5 here. That is not great for them. Let's just name Human here. We're kind of telegraphing our Azusa, but that's alright. Play our Relic, pass it back. If they're just going to do that, then I'm just going to untap. Chameleon Colossus, you say? Chameleon Colossus, you say? Alright, let's go ahead and get this Gruul Turf out there. Pick up the Cavern. If they have the Wildfire, then that kind of sucks, but I don't think there's anything we can do realistically, so I wonder if they'll fetch here and expose it to a Relic, and they do. We want to get rid of that fetch ASAP, so they can't get it back with Renin 6. And now we can actually yield through the turn, which is great. Turn 4, Uncounterable Chameleon Colossus. Sounds pretty good. So they just play a tap land and pass. Alright, well, we'll name Giant. Actually, do we name Construct? Is that what Golos is? I think Golos is a Construct. Let me go double check. I can't scroll over it and look at it. Scout. It's a good thing I double checked that. Yeah, so let's name Scout. Yikes. Alright, and that's because I don't expect Azusa to get countered here. And then we can still cast an Uncounterable Chameleon Colossus with a Cavern on Scout. Definitely playing out all of our land drops here. And we'll pass it back. I think being able to guaranteedly resolve this Scout is going to be pretty important. They have nothing, huh? I think we go for the Golos. I'm not really sure what we're searching for here, though. Like, land-wise. Huh. Maybe we just play the Colossus here. I think that's pretty hype. Yeah, let's just slam the Colossus here. The uncounterable Scout, you know? There he goes. Can't be countered. Eat that. Aethergust. Okay, well, that is one reason to have played the Golos, but that's fine. Well, actually, we don't want to be yielding here. We want to relic our opponent's Gust away while we can. Pass it back. Putting the Colossus on top just because I feel like it's a relevant threat. Alright. We can play into another Aether Gust, or we can just slam the Golos. I kind of want to get the threat in play, so I'm going to slam the Golos here. Can't be countered, opponent. Cannot counter that one. Alright, and since we have the Dryad, we now know that we want to search up a Valakut. I guess it's also possible to get a bounce land so that once we get Dryad in play, we can immediately transmute Talari West. That might be good. And then we can choose from our transmute whether we pick up a Summoner's Pact or a Valakut then. It gets us a land ahead as well. Alright, I'm gonna go with the Growth Chamber here. Could be wrong. I am attacking with this Azusa, no fear. Growth Spiral, you got it. Attack. Let's just go ahead and relic our opponent to 2. No land from our opponent's Growth Spiral either. I don't know, maybe it's wishful thinking to have gotten the Growth Chamber here, as it does assume that we'll get this Dryad in play in the first place, but I don't know. Oh, our opponent scooped it up. Okay, well, I'll take it. I will definitely take that. Eldritch Evolution versus Tribe Scout is an interesting question. I mean, if we don't have Grazers or Tribe Scouts, there's nothing to Evolution away anyways. I honestly wish I could be siding out these two Eldritch Evolutions right here. I think I will. I think it's probably better to have Grazer than the Evolution in this matchup. It's better to have Grazer or Scouts, though, because Scouts do get hit by Wrenn and 6, but they also clock Planeswalkers semi-meaningfully. I don't know. I think I'd rather have the Scouts against Wrenn and 6 than Grazer, since it represents more than one card's worth of advantage at the very least if they don't kill it. This hand is obviously a keep. Definitely playing Amulet on 1. Hoping our opponent doesn't have Force. Because they could just play turn 2 Wrenn and kill our Tribe Scout anyway, so we'll do this. Amulet. Pass it back. Actually, it would be great if they force this, because then we could just play our other Amulet. Our opponent forces pitching Growth Spiral. That's actually fantastic for us. They can fetch and play their Wrenn and 6 that we were expertly playing around by not playing Tribe Scout. Here it comes. There it goes. That's why we play around things. Alright, next turn we can play Amulet and Tribe Scout and force them to down tick on the Tribe Scout. Okay. Let's play... Actually, I guess it does matter which land we play here. I think we want to continue to make land out progress, so I'm just going to play out the Hanweir. Here's the Tribe Scout, pass it back. You can minus on this Tribe Scout if you want to, opponent. That'll just put you 2 turns away, technically, from the ultimate, as it's 1 turn that they didn't plus, and a -1 to the Wrenn as well, so... I mean, they got a card out of it, but it's the best that this Tribe Scout was ever going to do. Uro. Oh, they're getting Yorion in their hand. Interesting. Alright. Now, we could Summoner's Pact for a Dryad or for an Azusa here. I think pacting for Dryad makes some sense. They can't gust us this turn. If we play land, pack for Dryad, play land, then we lose to Cryptic Bounce Draw. Unless we get Azusa. If we get Azusa, we're not really doing anything anyways. I don't know how much I feel like losing to Cryptic Bounce Draw. I don't know, though. This is the best turn to do anything with our Summoner's Pact. Like, at all. Having Azusa in play seems alright. I'm just going to hold my horses on that one. No reason to do anything just yet. We really do want this Summoner's Pact to be a Dryad, so... If we can get our opponents to tap out here, then we can pack for a Dryad and not be losing to Cryptic Bounce Draw. Of course, then we'd be losing to end of turn Cryptic, untap Cryptic, but... Interesting. Let's just play out the Windswept Heath and pass. And this is not great, but it's what we got. Not playing anything into their obvious Cryptic Command mana. We have not managed to draw anything relevant, which is pretty unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and fetch this Windswept Teeth right now. Get our Temple Garden, leaving all of our basics in the deck. Fierce Empath. That one's not bad at all. Let's see, we can play the Empath. They probably won't counter it, and then play Dryad afterwards, but then we lose the Dryad to a mana leak. We can play Growth Chamber, Summoner's Pact for Dryad, play it, picking up one of our lands, leaving the Growth Chamber in play, or we can just pick up the Growth Chamber. I guess we're going to lose to Cryptic Bounce either way, if our Dryad doesn't resolve. So I guess we'd be losing to any counterspell plus Cryptic Command if we cast Summoner's Pact this turn. So I do want to play out a land here anyway, so I'm going to play the Growth Chamber, so we're playing around Mana Leak with our Fierce Empath. We'll float... Actually, let's protect the Valakut as well. Play Fierce Empath. Our opponent can't Mana Leak it. They can counter it if they would like. They don't. Wise choice. Wish we had something like Carnage Tyrant to just completely blow them out. But of course, Primeval Titan is probably better than Carnage Tyrant here anyways. So, yeah, that's cool. And pass it back. Again, not pacting for anything here. They ping our Empath, which is... That's fine. Way better for us than them pinging our Tribe Scout, as we have managed to go up a card in that exchange. Are we just slamming a Titan here? I don't think so. I think it's safe to go for the Summoner's Pact line and play our Dryad. We can play around Mana Leak. If they Cryptic Bounce the land, there's like literally no problem with that. We clearly play the Valakut first, but I am going to go for the Summoner's Pact for Dryad here. Force of Negation on the Summoner's Pact. You got it. Well, our opponent could be representing Mana Leak. Or Deprive or something like that. But I think it's not getting any better for us if we wait. So it's probably just an Aether Gust. And we need to make them use that Aether Gust anyways. So I suppose it could also be an Archmage's Charm, but then they have to double fetch, which is not the worst for us. If they do get a Mystic Sanctuary off of one of those fetches, then they would just be getting back Force, and Force is not that fantastic against us anyway, so the likelihood is we're playing into an Aether Gust here, and it's no big deal. If we get got by Mana Leak, then that was just going to happen regardless. There's no way we could do anything about that. Okay, well, we got by the Mana Leak. Cool. That's great. Mystic Sanctuary back a Mana Leak. Interesting. Well, now we know to play around a Mana Leak. Are they hard casting Yorion here? Yeah. Holding up Mana Leak. Well, if we had a Cavern lying in the way, or had a Titan and then drew Cavern for turn, then they would be in a bad shape here. But or even if we just played a freaking Dryad and went ham on their Yorion, but of course we can't punish them. I'd probably bog them anyways, just to set them back from Uro if they're playing it. And we got nothing. We got 3 bounce lands in hand, opponent. So that's all from us. And now we're going to draw an Eldritch Evolution. There's the Uro that we were trying to play around with our Bog play. So that was a pretty good play. Field of Dead is no bueno. I apologize for some of the background noise. I don't know if it'll come through or not, but there is some background noise at the current time, and there's not much I can do about it. We'll just take our 4 damage. Dryad is not bad. We know that our opponent has Mana Leak, but yeah, we're not playing around anything here, so Dryad into play. See if it resolves. Cool. Gruul Turf. We will point the Valakut trigger at this Rin, so we can stop that thing from ulting, if at all possible. So -7, right? Yep. Path of the Dryad. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. Just go ahead and always yield the Valakut. Pick up our Bajuka Bog here. Pass it back solemnly. Continue to make land drop progress as our opponent destroys us. Sanctuary back a path. Okay. I mean, we're almost able to cast... No, we are currently able to cast Primeval Titan through Mana Leak, but you know what? That's fine. More zombies. Okay. There's a Titan. Opponent has like a billion cryptic commands, I'm sure. I don't know if we just go ahead and bog our opponent now, or... I mean, we have to cast Titan this turn. We're just straight up dead, so let's do that. And we're probably straight up dead anyways. Leaving a red to haste our little Primeval Titan that we're casting right here. Oh, resolved. Say what? Okay. So Feel the Dead is going to be one of the picks. We don't have a Radiant Fountain in this list. That's kind of annoying, although it wouldn't actually gain us an additional turn against this Yorion anyways. Probably just Vesuva to play in our second main phase as a copy of Field and make even more zombies. Our opponent's about to ultimate their Ren as well. So if they have a Lightning Bolt and some lands in hand, then we're just destroyed. No big deal, no big deal. Let's play this as a Field. Heck yeah. Our opponent has exactly 4 zombies. So, I mean, we have to haste our Titan here, but our opponent's going to path it. Oh, they don't. They're going to do it in begin combat. No big deal. There it goes. Right, let's search. Get a cool forest. And, yeah, maybe we have a little bit of this covered. Our opponent might be regretting getting back that Mana Leak about now. If we can just manage to spike another Titan off the top, we might be okay. They ping us. Oh no, we're just dead. Okay, cool. Let them attack us. 4 damage to the dome. Good game. Would we have spiked a Titan off the top? That is the question. Answer is no way. Alright. That was actually still a pretty fun match. And definitely showing some of the weakness of Eldritch Evolution there, I would say. Regardless, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys for the next match. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.